Hey everyone, Scorp here. This is probably going to be one of my last Duelist the Roses videos, but I figured I'd make a pretty nasty deck for you guys today. Um, this is probably what I'd call the King of Degeneracy deck. This deck is absolutely degenerate. It absolutely gets run over by aggro. But if you were to go against any control deck whatsoever, or any deck doesn't take you out of the game in like 3 turns, this deck's gonna win the game. Like, it's going to... It will do something to your opponent that wins the game. It has many win conditions, and all of them are brutal to deal with. So, the first one you're probably gonna see, it's got a small Mystical Elf package in it. It's missing like a card or two from it, because you can't fit everything in this deck. But this deck has options. So 3 Mystical Elves, because this effect is really strong, and using it like 20 times just makes your creatures too strong for your opponent to do anything about, which is great. Next up, 3 Magician of Faiths. These recycle all of the degenerate cards that we're gonna play. So 3 of those for sure. They also fuse into Mystical Elves, so side benefit to having these in the deck is great. Next up, 3 Unhappy Maidens. These fuse to make Mystical Elves, so just something to get out of the way. 3 Mask of Darkness. This is for more degeneracy and more recycling degeneracy. Some 5 Elves. These are all used to make the fusions for Mystical Elf. Now for some of the cards we're gonna recycle. Jowls of Dark Demise. This card is super degenerate. It takes control of one of your whatever it flips face up against in battle. And so it's basically a guaranteed 1-for-1, and if that card dies, this thing comes back and it's in your summoning area, and it dies again, and then it drops Crush Terrain. This thing is just like a 2-for-1 machine. Next up, Rigorous Lever. So you decided that you wanted to win the game by decking your opponent out. So you just repeatedly recycled this thing's effect with Darkness Approaches, and you made your opponent run out of cards in their deck because you killed their hand like 10 times. Rigorous Lever is pretty good. Next up, Dark Hole. There's a white hole in this deck too. You can recycle Dark Holes infinitely and just kill every single card your opponent has with it. Next up, Heavy Storm. This is a really strong card. You might as well have one, especially when you're going to swing for game with Mystical Elf. Couple Soul of the Pures to heal myself. You can recycle this, so with all of the Magician of Faiths and the Mask of Darknesses, why not give yourself infinite health so your opponent can't kill you? Tremendous Fire. If your opponent really wants to take a long time, you can just play 4 of these, and they lose. You know, my opponent's kind of being annoying. Let's just eternally Spellbind them forever because we can recycle Swords of Revealing Light. And Swords of Revealing Light them 4 times, like 50 times. They eventually lose the game because they can't attack you. Next up, Triple Darkness Approaches. This is for recycling cards. Next up, Change of Heart. Hey, this card almost always goes 1-for-1, or it has text that says I win the duel. What a great card. It's a shame if I play 40 of these in a duel. You're really not ever going to win against that. Next up, Magical Neutralizing Force Field. Another really broken card. And guess what? You can recycle it infinitely. 3 Curse Breakers to keep the cost down. Goblin Fan, because we hate Riryoku, and we really hate burn decks, especially when you're going slow. So, Goblin Fan, pretty much a must. White Hole, this way you can use your Dark Hole without fear of losing your own cards. And then Mirror Force. Ah yes. You ever duel Yugi and have to deal with 4 of these things? well, this deck is tailor-made to use about 20 of them. So, yeah, if you ever wondered how to deal with that deck that just 1-for-1s all your cards, well, you just play an Infinite Engine with Magician of Faith and Darkness Approaches, and you play infinite cards, and then their 1-for-1s mean nothing. So these are going to be quite slow duels, and they're probably pretty brutal. But yeah, this is the kind of nasty duel that you could get yourself into. Oh hey. I'm gonna speed this up for a bit, because we're gonna be here a while. Because Yugi's gonna have a bad day. Okay, I think that's good enough. Say bye to all your cards. I feel like we got rid of most of the cards in his deck. With that, I mean, he's played a lot of cards. It's a shame if we grab this back and pass a whole bunch more. Just getting out of the way. Give myself an extra turn of this. There's no way it has terrain bonus, so just get one more card out of him. Maybe another? I guess he could have played Blackluster Soldier, but... Okay, well, that went well. Say bye to all those cards. So, we're just gonna pass again. Okay. Ooh, perfect. So we'll just get rid of every single card he has again. Thanks to the AI being kind of passive, you know, we can do this with pretty much impunity. So I didn't need those cards. But he probably needed those cards since he has one card left in his deck. Yeah. So we're gonna just take a little stroll over to his deck leader with Jowls of Dark Demise and kill him with his last card in his deck. Yeah, this is, yeah, this is a pretty bad way to do Yugi. Ooh, thanks for the Magician of Black Chaos. Don't mind if I do. Just speed this process up a little bit with a tremendous fire. As you can see, we still have 24 cards left in our deck. And this man's already out of cards. Absolutely disgraceful. Also, this deck can probably use whatever deck leader you want. I'm just using something that buffs spellcasters. But if you wanted to use this for countering, like, I don't know, somebody that's loving to play insects, you can just put a reptile deck leader on and make it even more degenerate. You know, you have options. Kind of feel like doing about the same kind of thing to Kaiba. You know. Well, he doesn't play Ruryoku or any burn cards, so we can get rid of that. But we can set up our white hole this time. So if we draw Dark Hole, we just instantly win the game. Make my 1-cost Mystical Elf. It's a pretty good cheat. Yeah, it's pretty cheaty. Ooh, we have some fun cards. I'm not gonna need Soul the Pure, probably. Just need to draw Darkness Approaches. There's a couple cards we could draw here, to be honest, that would make this pretty much over. I mean, this is already over, but... Well, that's a pretty good card. Same if we use Infinite Mirror Forces. Oh, he's actually putting stuff in defense. Almost impressed. So I'm gonna flip this just to make that stronger, even though it's gonna get Mirror Force. I'm not really liking this hand, so... Just get us both new hands, you know? Oh, I'm sorry, Kaiba. Was that a Mirror Force? Not the draw I was really looking for. You know? He did play a card, so, you know. Might as well get rid of 4 of his cards. Now, if only I could draw a Darkness Approaches here. Be in good shape. There we go. Make sure before you flip your Mask of Darkness that you have space for your Darkness Approaches in your summoning area. I have definitely done that before. Yeah, we can get rid of this hand. I'm not going to draw next turn before I do this again. So I can get rid of more cards in this hand. So I will flip this first. Second, Darkness Approaches. Oh, that's rude. Rude. I want a couple turns to sort myself out and to see what he has. So he should have nothing to deal with this one. Now I can Darkness Approaches. I'm not going to draw now because I don't want to just deck myself out. What the 3 cards I killed of his? Oh, nothing useful. Okay. Again, Darkness Approaches first. To make sure that he doesn't kill himself attacking my Mystical Elf. Flip this first, get rid of his hand. We got rid of a Mirror Force, that's nice. And we'll get another Darkness Approaches to do that again. So he just played 2 cards out of his hand. So I'm just going to do this again without drawing a card, since I don't need to. And this deck plays enough crush cards, or cards that give crush terrain, that this is kind of safe, as long as your opponent didn't rush you down. So I only need to do this one more time and he's out of cards in his hand. If he would have, you know, actually played a card. My Dark Hole is like bottom 5 cards, which is unfortunate. Maybe he'll do something if I Darkness Approaches, but I'd love to see just bottom decking this Dark Hole. Actually, it might be in my graveyard. Is it in my graveyard? Nope, it's not. I'll just Darkness Approach first. He might move forward now. He probably won't, but he could. Oh, he'd move forward. That means that when I draw this Dark Hole, I get to get rid of every card that he's ever had. Let's discard hands first. Goodbye. And that's every card that he's had. And now we get to just go hunt his deck leader down. Because he can't possibly win the duel anymore. Just have to make sure I don't flip Rigger's Lever. I mean, I don't care. I've already won. But... I'll just flip Jowls for fun. And it's literally just a matter of winning the game at this point. So, super degenerate deck. I would be very annoyed if I ever had to play against this. No escape for the blue eyes. Goodbye, Kaiba. If you make the deck cost higher, you could take out the... You can definitely remove the Curse Breakers. Fit in that last Wing Egg Elf. You can throw in a Mimicat. Mimikat's nice and broken. You can put in Brain Control. There's a whole bunch of cards you can put in, I guess. You can put in a Gravity Bind. Gravity Bind's nice and nasty. Yeah. I don't know what I want to do to him. I mean, I know what I kind of wanted to do to him, but I don't know if my hand really says I can do that to him. Here, let's do it this way. Oh my, we're gonna be in this kind of war, huh? Well, let's see what spell or trap we played here. Well, that's a pretty good use of the white hole. Well. Oh my. We're really just... Oops. We're really just gonna do this to each other, huh? Oh my. Oh, jeez. Hopefully he doesn't draw a Tremendous Fire or Mimicat. Well, if he gives me like 2 turns, I win the game for sure. So... Okay, he drew his... Okay. Ooh, that's lethal. That's for sure lethal. Either of these is lethal. Man, what a brutal thing to do to an opponent. It's a shame Change of Heart exists. Man, taking 4,000 damage from your own creature? For the record, I had lethal next turn anyways, because I just Tremendous Fired him twice. Like, wow. This can play as a burn deck, this can take control of all your opponent's cards as a deck. Yeah, and I'll just show if I were to make this deck more expensive what I'd really put in. Since these Curse Breakers are kind of just filler anyways. Put that in, and then definitely add a Mimicat. Just adds to the amount of I can play literally anything in the game factor that this deck really has. Where is Mimicat? It's right here. And then what else? I wanted to throw in a Gravity Bind, I think. Just for one more card that can take out all of your opponent's cards. So, yeah, for 1,300 deck cost, this is a unbelievably nasty deck. Yeah. So this deck is not ultimately strong. Like, it is beatable. This deck is absolutely beatable. But it if you want to take a game late, this deck will take a game late, and it will find a win condition that wins the game. And it has so many options, regardless of what your opponent plays. So, let me know what you think of probably one of the most degenerate decks I've ever made. So, thanks everybody for watching, and have a nice day.